Hello students. Now in continuation of this topic, that is composition of the soil, okay, we will see about importance of the soil now. Okay. Now when we talk about importance of the soil, soil is an important element essential for the survival of living organisms. That is very much understood. So survival of living organisms. If the organisms have to survive in this particular environment, then soil is very essential for them. Okay. Otherwise, they will not be able to sustain themselves. Okay. Then the importance of the soil is mentioned below. We'll see the points one by one. The fertile soil helps in growth and development of the plants. The plants thus produced are healthy and provide food, clothing, furniture and medicines. So the fertile soil, if the soil is fertile, okay, fertile means what? If it has all the essential nutrients required for the growth of the plant, okay, then the plant will grow healthy, okay, it will give us a good yield of food, okay, and you also know that yield of food, when the sense provide food, say like rice, then it provides clothing like cotton, then furniture, that is wood, and then medicines like the medicinal plants, okay, which are very important for us in the making of medicines, okay, right. So that is the first one. So if the soil is fertile, the plant will grow well and it will give us all these particular essential nutrients. Then you have the second point, which is it supports many life forms including bacteria, fungi and algae, okay, etc. These microbes in turn maintain environmental balance by retaining the moisture and decaying of the dead organisms. Okay, so what are these? Now soil, it actually nests many organisms like bacteria, fungi, algae, protozoan, whatnot. Okay, many microorganisms are present in the soil. Okay, right. Now these microorganisms, they actually maintain the balance of the environment. Okay, right. So when they are maintaining the balance of the environment, okay, now the soil is able to say become fertile. So how is the soil becoming fertile? So what these microorganisms will do, these microorganisms will retain the moisture content in the soil. Okay, if the moisture content is good, the plants will grow nicely. All right, so they will retain the moisture content and also decaying the dead organism. So you know that if an organism is reached its equilibrium, that is, it is when it is dead, okay, right, this dead organism is basically a content of nutrients for all the other organisms. So when an organism dies, these organisms start, these microbes and these scavengers, they start acting on it, they start eating it, okay, they start decomposing it, and that decomposing matter is a very good source of nitrogen, phosphorus and potassium. Okay, so the soil becomes rich in that and the plants can go much better in that particular kind of a soil. So that is the second point. Okay, then the third point is the topsoil supports certain life activities such as reproduction, hatching, nesting, breeding, etc. of a few organisms. So say for example, if you can see various organisms which stay on the earth, so the topsoil which is present on the top, that will support the hatching, then nesting, breeding, etc. Okay, so these main characteristics are being taken care of by the soil. Okay, so these main characteristics will be taken care by the soil. Okay, then so when I say these main characteristics are taken care by the soil, that means what? It is actually giving us a support. Taken care means support. Then the organic matter present in the soil increases the fertility of the soil, which is responsible for the growth of the plant. Okay, so whatever decayed organisms are getting involved into the soil, they are getting used up by the organisms in the soil, what is happening? These organic matter present in the soil increases the fertility of the soil, because as the nutrients increases, the fertility of the soil increases and the growth of the plant is better. Okay, right? So which is responsible for the growth of the plants. it also contains certain minerals and elements that are necessary for the plants to carry out their cellular activities. So this organic matter, whatever is entering into the soil, okay, it is necessary for the plant to absorb these, and if any other cellular activity in the plant has to be carried out, these nutrients are very, very essential. Okay, so because of that, the organic matter is actually present in the soil, which is increasing the fertility. So if at all the plant has to maintain its cellular activities, these particular nutrients have to be supplied. Okay, and it is supplied and it is taken up from the soil. All right, now moving on to the next point. Soil is used for making cups, utensils, tiles. You know that. Okay, so cups means the mud cups in which the tea is given. Okay, then you have utensils. Early man used to make utensils made out of pots. Even today they are present. Okay, then you have tiles. So tiles, you know, the decorative tiles were present for the homes and the washrooms. They use the tiles that is also made from soil. Okay, now the contents in the soil such as gravel, clay and sand are used in the construction of homes, roads and buildings. So this point is actually self-explanatory. Okay, so the contents such as gravel, clay and sand, okay, now these are used in the construction of homes, roads and buildings. Okay, then moving on, useful mineral medicines such as calcium, iron and other substances such as petroleum jelly for cosmetics are extracted from the soil. All right, so useful mineral medicines such as calcium and iron. Okay, so calcium, iron, so you know that there are some of them, or some of the minerals are present in the soil. Okay, so they are extracted. Okay, and also petroleum jelly, you know that petroleum jelly is a petroleum product which is extracted from the bottom of the sea. That means the bore goes into the soil of the seabed. Okay, and then the oil is coming, or the crude oil is coming out from where the petroleum jelly is brought, and it is used in cosmetics, are extracted from the soil. So that's what they are extracted from the soil itself. Okay, and then the last point here is the soil absorbs the rainwater. This water is evaporated and released into the air during sunny days, making the atmosphere cooler. Okay, so this is very, very important. So soil absorbs the rainwater. So soil is basically, it is absorbing the rainwater. Now when it is absorbing the rainwater, this water is evaporated back into the air. Okay, so during summer, because of the heat, the water is radiated back into the atmosphere. So once it is going back to the atmosphere, this soil, this water cools the atmosphere, basically cools the atmosphere, you know, and internally it starts reducing the temperature of the earth. Okay, so that is how the cycle is maintained. Okay, so in the importance of the soil, we have seen the following points, that how fertile soil helps in getting the nutrients, then how the topsoil helps in the reproduction, then hatching and nesting. Then we have seen how it is useful, how the organisms in the soil helps in balancing of the, they help in the balancing of the moisture in the soil. Okay, then we have seen organic matter actually increases the soil fertility. Then we have seen how soil is used in utensils, cups and tiles, and also in construction of homes, roads and buildings. Then we have seen how these minerals are extracted, how these minerals are coming from the soil, and they are used by us in medicines. Okay, then you have petroleum jelly, which is coming from the seabed, that is from the crude oil, okay, which is being used, and the rainwater, which is going up and then coming down and cooling the atmosphere. So these are the various points, and this is the importance of soil. Okay, so thank you for listening, and I hope to see you in the next session. Thank you so much.